Alright people, welcome back to the PWC channel once again. Today we have our winners finals of our preseason speed tournament, and it is between Coach Guil and Coach BreadPudding. So, looking at the matchup, Brett has his mono flying type team, so it's not too surprising that all of his mons are at least partially of the flying type. And we see a rocks exchange in the first two turns, which Guil protected first turn, and now Brett switches into his Togetic, which proceeds to take some Stealth Rocks damage. So looks like these rocks are gonna be annoying for both guys, because Guil's Colossal also does not carry the heavy duty boots, and Landorus and Gliscor probably won't be able to touch each other that well. And yeah, so this is pretty much a stalemate between these two mons, and they are gonna get their rocks up. This is not gonna go anywhere. But oh, and there Guil reveals the ace up his sleeve, his Ice Fang. So he's a very weird set: Protect, Stealth Rock, Ice Fang, and Rock Tomb. But luckily for Brett, he thaws out pretty quickly. But this still means that he can never win this one-on-one versus the Gliscor. So that's always a free switch for Guil whenever that Gliscor comes in. And here goes a Draco Meteor. Now this should be a relatively free switch for Koko, or that's at least what's, I mean, depending, we don't know if the Noivern is choiced yet, but still it resists a Hurricane, and it definitely is immune to the Draco Meteor, the Koko. So the only thing that would really suck would be like a Boom Burst now. Oh, but Guil probably wanted to scout for the Boom Burst, but Brett just decided to click Draco once more, and Guil reveals the Heat, literal Heat Colossal with Custap Berry Explosion. So that is a little bit of a Guil special. I've seen that in several leagues now by him, and he did it once more. So Brett got a little more out of the Noivern than he probably should have, because it appears that he did actually not have anything to hit the Koko with. So Guil definitely could have switched into the Koko on the Noivern, but to be in all honesty, he did not know that, so he couldn't know that, and he probably didn't just wanna eat a Boom Burst. So yeah, this is not gonna work for Brett, because every time he goes into Landorus, Guil can always go into Gliscor and get the rocks straight back up. So that's really annoying for him, because both the Aerodactyl and the Togetic will both always take the rocks damage, and the Gyarados as well, as it seems. So yeah, Brett just gets destroyed heavily by these rocks. And yeah, I'm not quite sure what these repeated subs are about, but that's not gonna do too much. He's forced to go into Lando, which is, as always, is a free switch into the Gliscor for Guil. He has no reason to risk anything. Yeah, this defog is just means that he can go into something else with... Oh! I don't really agree, honestly, with that play. I heavily disagree with that play, actually. He should have just gotten his rocks straight back up. So yeah, this is annoying now, because now the Vikavolt, I mean, it doesn't take rocks damage, and it appears to be defensive. So yeah, Brett does not have any heavy duty boots on his team. So yeah, these rocks really are a priority for Guil. And this Vikavolt is very annoying. Very annoying. So this Landorus also is not able to touch this Vikavolt, so Guil could, if he wanted to, just stay in. And as always, this defog is not doing anything. And Guil just decides to take out the Lando. Welp, and he gets the rocks back up. So now that the... Oh, why is he protecting? Is he not afraid of a Dragon Dance? Huh, interesting. Well, now that The Lando is gone. Guil doesn't really need the Gliscor that much anymore. And the rocks are pretty much, looks like they will end up winning him the game. He can now go into Vikavolt and click Toxic. And yeah, so Guild's mons just really are annoyed by the rocks. Well, so this Vaporeon does not appear to have Heal Bell, I don't think. Or else he probably would have clicked it, and Guil reveals Heal Bell of his own. But he also has the Aurora, which will work really well against Brad here in this case, just because his team gets screwed by the rocks that much. But the Toxic on Vikavolt can potentially be annoying because the Gyarados can now just sub against it repeatedly and whittle it down that way. So yeah, this Thunderous will now not be able to come back in, and we will see if it's not Scarfed, it's gonna die to this next Rock Tomb here. And after that he's probably gonna go into Gyarados, I would suspect, or even the Aerodactyl, but honestly Guil should not switch out with his Gliscor anymore. I really don't see what it does for him at this point. So he should just honestly sack it and not let the Gyarados get a sub up. But yeah, this is just a Coco sweep now at this point. Yeah, but that's the problem with a mono flying type team. You're so weak to rocks and obviously to all these electric type attacks that yeah, it's tough. So it's definitely, it's a good achievement honestly for Brad to have made it this far all the way to winners finals. It's definitely not self-evident that this would work. Also, he can't sweep with this Gyarados, I just noticed, because obviously Guil has the Ditto. So yeah, this is just honestly GG, probably. Depending on the damage that Gyarados does to itself, Guil can also just go straight into it and click Waterfall now. And because Togetic can't switch in, it's gonna come in at like 54% or 55% and die to 2 Waterfalls at +1. And Aerodactyl obviously as well will die. So yeah, this looks like it's gonna be over, and yeah, obviously it's, as I said, it's a good achievement by Brett to have even made it this far, as he gets flinched, which honestly didn't really matter, and will now get swept by this Gyarados, his very own Gyarados. Well, fun game, well played by Guil. He honestly took his advantage, the advantage of knowing that Brett has a mono flying type team, and exploited all the weaknesses that you would expect of a team like this. But then again, probably Brett could have prepped a little bit better against rocks. It really was a stalemate that meant that Guil gets up rocks every time he goes into Lando, and he really shouldn't have let that happen. That was just too easy of a path for Guil to get a huge advantage with the rocks every time he goes into Lando, and he had to go into Lando against all these rock types. So he should have somehow built the set in a way where Guil is not free to go into Gliscor every time. But yeah, as I said, it's hard with a mono flying type team. So GG guys, was definitely a fun match, and congrats to Guil for making it into Grand Finals, and Brett can probably bounce back from the losers finals. We'll see. Alright guys, see you in the next one.